What's up, y'all? What's up with the peoples out there, man? What's going on?
Good,
We
man. It's good.
building.
What's happening, man? Salute to everybody out there, man. We locked in.
We
Shout it
locked.
out, shout it out. We back in the
Yeah.
building. Three the hard way. We locked in. Y'all already know what it is.
We locked in on purpose, locked in on faith, locked in on building. You know what I'm saying? We still locked in. Man.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Whoa.
Ain't nothing, man. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot happening.
Praise doing this right now.
Yo, salute to my brother Smitty. A lot going on TV. You already been holding it down with me. Yo, what's going on, man? Yo, After Street Challenge. We here to react. What's up, man? What y'all think about the After Street Challenge, man? Talk to the
Yes,
people, man.
It's a challenge?
It's a
They call
challenge, though.
it,
It's not like drop the flag or nothing, right?
no, they call it a challenge, but
Did they call
not
it a
necessarily.
challenge?
Hold on, how you
Not
gonna call
necessarily.
it? How you gonna call After Streets a challenge, though? That's a challenge to what? Come out in After Streets? Like I don't get it.
I mean, there's I understand where you're coming from, and I agree to a certain extent, but I seen it be referred to as the After Street Challenge. So I'm not saying that everybody is saying, this is the After Street Challenge, but I have seen people refer to it as the After Street Challenge. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
What y'all,
copy.
what do y'all think about that?
Well, let me say something real quick, Kay, because I gotta jump off for like 5 minutes. So the thing is this, right? My whole thing about it is that I gotta look at it in a number of ways. I think for us, those of us, you, Mikey, you, KK, me, and individuals of our stature, of our ilk, I think if we were to say something of that magnitude, I think it's coming from a place of we put our work in on them streets. We did time as a result of the things that we did while in the streets. And we're coming from a space of saying, man, we're not trying to go to them streets because we know ultimately this is where it can lead us. And we're trying to warn people from going down that same path that we went down, right? Now, on the flip side of that, I believe if it's coming from individuals who are saying F the streets because, for instance, they themselves may have got jammed up and they didn't necessarily stand firm in the process of doing that. I don't know me. This is just me, and I'm sure you guys could probably agree or disagree. I don't know if I'm taking that as a genuine. I don't know if it's the same. Now maybe individuals who might not have stood tall, in them under those circumstances, they're probably saying the same thing we're saying. It's probably coming out the wrong way. But if not, I don't know if individuals have the right to say that if that's where it's not coming from. But I got a lot more to say, but I just want to say it's a lot more to say.
Nah, listen, I definitely understand where you're coming from, and it comes from that particular perspective. When you're saying after streets, you don't necessarily say after streets. It's more so a lifestyle, like a criminal lifestyle or a destructive lifestyle, or doing things that's going to take you back to prison, right? You're saying like we would say F that, but as far as the streets concerned, when you put that term out there like that, it's almost like you turning your back on individuals that may be stuck in a situation or they jammed up or whatever. And in this particular sense, personally, that is not the case. I can never say F those that's in that situation, right? Because we do everything in our power, all of us, like creating programs, working here to actually help better those conditions that's in that environment. I mean, so when these dudes do it, it just seeming weird now. Like, all right, you saying F because
I'm about to step up in the mosque for prayer.
you want to accept people who was dishonorable. Salam alaikum, make sure you make dua for me too.
Right.
And it's like all of a sudden it comes out now with this individual who told, or this individual who allegedly told, or this person who allegedly told, and that in order to accept individuals, now it's F the streets because we get money and we doing this and we trying to work together So it's F. And it's like, nah, it's never all right to be dishonorable. No
right.
matter where you at.
Regardless of what you're doing with your life and what you did while you was in the streets, I can understand. You know, a lot of the stuff that we did, we were kids when we did this stuff. We were kids. We were young men. Some of us were immature. Some of us might have been older. A lot of the stuff we caught in our teens and maybe early 20s. Now we on the internet as grown, mature men. Am I still coming with the same perspective that I came with when I was 18? I was 17 and I was in the streets and doing crime and pushing that line? Of course I'm not. I'm a mature man now. I'm thinking I got a family. I'm out here working and doing. So I got to keep perspective. Of course, I'm never going to say F our peoples. I'm never going to say F our peoples.
Never, bro.
So our peoples are a part of the streets. And the way the streets is being used is really like a code for Black people. It's really like a code for
like those that's still involved in certain activities.
We both come from big families, right?
Yeah.
And we both got families that was in the streets and some wasn't.
Yeah.
But our families that wasn't in the streets, they was in the streets with us a lot of the times. Right or wrong, though.
No, you're absolutely right. That's like saying you ain't gonna support. So I get jammed up. You ain't gonna help me get myself in order. You ain't gonna help support me. Yo, I just read an article today, right? Denzel Washington, his nephew, had got locked up, right, for robbery. And Denzel went to court for him. And what he did was commendable, honorable, everything. He told the judge, like, it's my fault, right? And he's like, whatever you want to give him, give me something because I was responsible for him, right?
Right.
And he like literally told the judge, like because I did this instead of doing this. I did this instead of doing this. Not abandoning him, not saying after not doing that. He said, whatever you want to give him, you don't even gotta give him enough. You can give it all to me. Right? This is come like Denzel did this. So what the judge did, he gave him a light, gave him something light. He gave Denzel like mad hours of community service or something, right? And his nephew got less time, like I think like 2 years or something like that. He gave him, but he stood up for him. Not only that, but to help him. And boom, and when he ended up coming out, he got a program now where he done help like 200 something individuals like get their life in order.
Wow. That's great.
I mean, so we were like, this is why I'd be like, what? Like, why would I say, like, am I saying F the street? Nigga, we gonna be there for the individuals that need our help, that need our guidance. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And another thing I always tell people too is like, I don't say F the streets because really, when I was on my dumb idiot stuff, my family, they supported me. I'm just being honest, bro. You heard?
Yeah.
If they would have just turned their back on me because I was in the streets, where would I be at today? I wouldn't even be here. I probably wouldn't even be around today for none of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we can never do that. And I think guys are just talking ass because dudes get in a position where you're successful. You know what I'm saying? You're making a bunch of money. Your life is different. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's like, all right, I ain't messing with them. I'm trying to get a relationship back with bro because, he good. We all got money now. Man, F the streets. Like, yeah, I don't come around there no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't come around there no more. Don't promote, you know what I'm saying, anything that we got, like we got going on. Like, let us do us. You know what I'm saying? Don't go jacking dudes style and swag and everything else and copying it and try to mimic it. Don't go rapping like, you know what I'm saying, you from here and you about this and you not.
Right. And that's the whole thing. A lot of guys were saying that, like Bucci was saying the same thing. He was like, yo, what's the Don? What up? Salute to everybody. Yo, Giovanni. Yo, Monster Mo, salute everybody pulling up, man. You already know what it is, man. Share the live, man. Share the live, man. We locked in. We back in the building, man. KK, Moshe,
What up?
we back on time, man. We back now. But yeah, bro. It's like, you know, a lot of dudes were saying that with their music too. You heard? They was like, yeah, don't make the music. Don't when that check come with you profiting off all that street stuff that you said. Don't take the check.
Wow.
Don't take the check. don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't. Bro.
You know where we from. You know how we came up, and of course we ain't trying to go back to prison. We ain't promoting no negative stuff or whatever. But you know, nigga, it's still being there for your people no matter what.
That's what it all boils down to. It all boils down to that, and I can understand if you're saying F crime, I'm with that. F, violence, black on black violence, violence amongst the people in the community. I understand all of that. But when you're saying F everybody, is F the streets, it's like it's too wide, it's too broad for me, you know? Word up, man. Then KK's phone just went out. KK, you still there? You still there, KK? No, KK gone. Yeah, man, but it's good. It's good to be back with my guys, man. Having everybody back in the building. We was talking, we was kicking it behind the scenes. We was like, yo, we might as well pop out and talk to the peoples, man. This, I ain't gonna lie, this after streets conversation, it's a good conversation. It's a conversation that we all should be tapped into. That we all should, have our perspective on and really let people know how we feel about it. Because, and I see a lot of people saying, like, why would I put any stock? Why would I not say the streets ain't did nothing good for me? They did nothing good for me. Why would I not say F the streets? You know what I mean? I understand that sentiment too, but it's people there regardless. It's people there regardless. You know what I mean? KK's back. KK, I lost you for a minute, dude.
Yeah, no, I was just about. I got my jacket. I'm in here frying. Up stuff. Was on the internet.
You in there getting busy, chefing it up. Yeah, bro. But I'm glad to see people speaking out with all the perspectives, though. I like all the perspectives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the thing I do that I do like. You know what I'm saying? And what I do like is dudes actually, even though sometimes dudes going about it a little off because they don't understand, but dudes actually embracing doing good though, like in their mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, F the streets, and you don't want to get away from this, and not going what everybody's saying about this, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? But now it's like when you're evolving, those actually step up and take them even further and show them how you actually do it. Good. You don't want to be involved with that no more. All right, then promote right. Get down with these causes that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Let's help bring some revenue to the streets. You know what I'm saying? Let's start tapping in, showing dudes how to get money a different type of way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Start sponsoring different type of business programs and hood programs, whatever, to help dudes get, you know what I'm saying? Get out of their situation.
Right.
So sometimes, we get into the fact why I don't be liking things a lot of times just on YouTube is that on social media, period, like sometimes dudes get in the factor of criticizing so much, criticizing, and trying to think things instead of coming up with solutions.
Right. That's true.
I mean, like how can we make things better? I mean, like individuals hit me up, call me, or ask me certain stuff. Like, bro, I ain't got time for none of that. If we looking to move forward and build and do better, hit me. You know what I'm saying? If not, never been one with back and forth concept. We trying to figure this out, and trying to figure that out. We getting to it or what? You know what I'm saying? Right. And if we get into it, how?
That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. You ain't wrong about that. My whole thing is, I think dude just putting too much stock in everything outside of being respectful, being humble, being a good worker, a money getter, whatever you do. I think people put way too much emphasis on things outside of having good characteristics, good values that can make you money. Like right now, I'm working. I had a couple jobs right now, and I had a couple businesses. I'm eating right now because my work ethic. I'm a great worker.
Yeah.
Respect level is good. I know how to communicate. You know, I'm easy to train and learn and new things and doing new things. So I'm always going to be able to get a dollar. I think people who's worried about things, they put stock in. I'm not. I'm a part of it. I'm a part of the problem as well. I think we all find ourselves worrying about things that we shouldn't be worried about. So at certain times, just being honest.
Yeah, like dudes be reaching, and it's like dudes be having these numbers and be able to reach certain individuals. Like, man, come on, right? A lot of time, man, dudes that's in the street, quote unquote, in the street, don't care nothing about that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't care nothing about that. They're worrying about how they gonna feed their people, how they gonna get something to eat, how they gonna pay the bills that they got stacked up, right? They're worrying about this job. Bro, like, yeah, they're not, man.
Yeah, that's a
All
fact, bro. What,
all right, what I missed, man?
go ahead, Mo.
Now, what I missed, man?
Nah, you ain't missed much. We was just going back and forth. KK had went out real quick, and we were just talking about people putting stock in a lot of things. The last thing I was just saying was people putting stock in a lot of things outside of being a good person, a humble person, a good worker. Coming out here getting money, and like you was just saying, a good husband, a good family man. We doing a lot of stuff that we ain't do. There's a lot of stock being put on different things in social media. Like what's sustaining us right now is our work ethics, our educational skills, us being able to be trained. You got a new job, Kiki got a new job, I got new jobs since we came home of things that we never did before, bro. And
Wow.
we all excelled, helped other people, and made money for ourselves and our family. You see what I'm saying? What's bigger and greater than that? I'm just saying.
It's crazy. Remember what Mo said when we was talking before, like, about being in a room with certain people, like him being in the room with commissioners and people, all me, other people, and I was in a room with like a presidential delegation from Guinea, somebody else from Liberia, like, and these people go and sit with nations, and I'm actually in the room with these folks, bro, and not just in the room, just a flying, like I'm in the room, nigga, talking. You know what I'm saying? Robbing, engaging with the individuals, you just be thinking back like, damn, where I was at, where I came from, and to actually even be in this position where people who are in, like, definitely they're considered world leaders or people who don't be leading countries and leading things. I'm actually can have a conversation with and be in a room with and really understanding the dynamics and what's happening and why people get into these positions. And it's like we get caught up in the what's that term? Chatty patty, all these chatty patties on here, right? We get caught up in that. Like I said before, like I said, looking for the solution. Right? I'm glad dudes are saying actually, saying that because that sparks a thing between them. Oh, after Steve, all right, good. So now you're saying that. What's the next step? What's the next step? You know what
Yeah, I
I'm saying?
mean,
You gonna help those people out?
I think we've been saying the same thing
Yeah.
for quite some time. I don't think any of us need 21 Savage to say F the streets. I think we all feel like that anyway, right? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Like, I don't think they started the F the streets movement. I think when I'm saying something of that nature, I'm not saying forget the people that's in the streets because we know people who are in the streets. I'm saying
Yeah.
that the people who I know, the people who I have relationships with, if y'all want to be in them streets, and y'all know that it comes with consequences like spending time in prison and going to an early grave. If you want to do that, then those are your choices. You a fool to think like that. You a fool to think that that's going to be a better way for you and your people out. That's you. But I could talk like that to the people who I have influence over, and generally, broadly, I can say the streets ain't gonna do nothing for you, but send you to an early grave or send you to a prison cell. I can say that because I know that because I lived that life. You guys lived that life. I can speak to that. So, but I'm not gonna also speak down upon people because I'm in a position today where because of my circumstances, I had to go through what I went through for my eyes to be open up to say, you know what, I don't have to make money to jeopardize my freedom in doing so, but I also don't have to denigrate others who choose to live that lifestyle neither. I don't have to put you down to say that, but when I'm speaking to you privately, when I'm speaking to you in the privacy of my home or in our intimate way as we speak behind the scenes, I'm going to be like, yo, bro, you bugging out, man. Yo, nah, man, F them streets. And I'm going to say that because I'm saying it in a way because I genuinely got love for you, and it's coming from a space of love, not from betraying the street code. I think that's a difference, though. I think some people was acting like they was with the street life. Turned out they wasn't about that street life, and now they saying F the streets. I think that's a different conversation than, you know, genuinely having love for your people and you really, really want the better for your people. You like, yo, look, man, we ain't doing nothing but destroying ourselves. That's a different conversation for people who I think earn the right to be able to say that versus those who doing it and they didn't go about it the right way. That's what I'm saying. Now I could be wrong.
No, I agree with you. That's what I see.
I think that's the thing that's being overlooked. That's the biggest thing. Like people have like earning the right to be able to say that.
Yeah.
And that's just like with Hocus with the drop the flag thing. It's like everybody jumping. It's like people earning the right, having a right to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't go through it. You ain't sit in the box with a bunch of homies. You ain't get indicted for this. You ain't get charged for this. So how could you know what I'm saying? What gives you the right to be in that position to say that?
Smitty Rock is in the building.
Yo, salute.
Yo, not my brother. What's up, my brother? How you been, man?
Ain't nothing, Moshe. What's up, big bro? Salute, KK. What's happening, big bro?
Man?
Yo, what's up with it, man? I'm glad you came in the building because I want to hear your perspective on this too. Because I feel, yo, bro, I'm no lie. I'm gonna be all the way 100. Like, yo, F the streets, like straight like that, straight up. And listen, I got a 21-year-old daughter. I got nephews. I'm telling my nephews, my nieces, don't go in them streets. Them streets ain't nothing for you. They will lose you out there. They don't care about. So that's the conversation I'm having. I don't need 21 Savage or what's these guys' names. I don't even know these dudes. I don't need these guys to tell me to say that to my family or the people who I love. That's how I feel.
Right. You see what Slim Slam was saying? I was in love with the streets, but I'm divorced now.
Oh, that's real. That's real right there.
Yo, what up, Smitty?
Ain't nothing, big bro. You know, regular. We locked in right now. You
what's your perspective, bro? What's your perspective, man?
Yeah, man. You can't forget, you know, what you went through in them streets. You know what I'm saying? We never could forget that, but it's F the streets, man. You know what I'm saying? When something that, you know, something like the streets that just brought nothing but harm to our community, destruction. You know, it's no love in them streets, really. You know what I'm saying? The love that we might think is out there, is, you know, it's not authentic. You feel what I'm saying? Them streets ruined a lot of families, man. You know what I mean? You got dudes up north right now, 50, 40 years because of the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that dudes is forced to be in the streets or, you know, but it's the only opportunity that a lot of us had. You feel what I'm saying? To basically get somewhere.
So your stance is don't F the streets.
I mean, it's in between, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
All right.
It's kind of in between to me. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's why I asked you that. I was kind of confused.
It's kind of in between to me because it's like, you know, the things we learned in the streets, you know, that's how we survived today. That's what how we made it to where we at today. You feel what I'm saying? Them survival tactics and everything, you know. So
So I got a question.
I'm like in between with it, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Everything
I
comes from
understand
the
why you're
street.
in between. I understand that too, because I understand exactly what you're saying. I got a thing that I clarify for everybody, right? But I'm asking, what is the meaning of that? Say the streets. What defines?
That's what I want to hear, KK. I want to know what the streets mean. What does that mean? F the streets.
What does that mean when a person says that? Like the streets.
I know what it means for me.
And that's where the confusion and why people get separated, because for one, as a people, like we separated on so much stuff because people just come out with things and just jack things without even really understanding its meaning.
What do we? So KK, I understand what you mean. I don't mean to cut you off, my brother.
Good.
Are you talking about the streets when we say? Because I went to August Martin. I was in Queens. Right? I hung out on Rockaway Boulevard and got brewed with my peoples in Paisley and all that. Are we saying, do I love to hang out the way I used to hang out on the block, hanging, smoking, doing what we, doing stuff like that? Do I miss that part right there? Of course I miss hanging out with the peoples. I love that. I love hanging out in the park and chilling. And so are we talking about F that? Or because some people are coming from the perspective of they getting money out there to survive. That's their means of survival. That's their means of taking care of their loved ones. So when you're saying F this, you also invalidating what they got to do to provide for their loved ones. So what do you actually mean when you say F this? Are you talking about the brotherhood that we built as a result of that? Are you talking about us going to war on the block? I'm losing the comrade. You dying in my arms. When you say F the streets, it's like, yo, what you talking about? We out here, we going to war. So in my mindset, what are you talking about, right?
Yeah.
But now, so for those of us that went through that, that's what I'm trying to say. I think people can you can earn the right to say, in spite of me losing comrades, in spite of lives being taken, in spite of blood being shed, in spite of prison bids and all this other stuff, Attica and the Comstock and all that, F that. F the streets, F the prisons, F you if you don't like what I'm saying. Like, so I think it's coming from that perspective.
Yeah.
I don't know how these other dudes are using it. I can only tell you how I'm using it.
Right. That's and I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that, Moshe, for real, because I'm not saying fuck the streets all the way. You feel what I'm saying? What I'm saying is fuck the shit that brothers is doing inside the streets. Do it
halfway.
No, I'm saying
3/4.
No, 3/4.
Hold on, Yo, you sound like you straddling that fence, Smitty. Hold on, what's going on here?
Yo, look. What I'm saying is this. Like you said, the streets, when you look at the streets, you understand dudes out there killing each other. I'm not with that. You feel what I'm saying? Out there harming each other and everything with them gangs and everything and going to jail. And it's like, that's over with, bro. You feel what I'm saying? That's
so you
over
say F that. You say F that.
F that. You feel what I'm saying? F that.
Okay.
F all the bloodshed. You understand what I'm saying? Like, ain't no stop getting money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get your money, you do what you do, you gotta survive. Ain't nobody telling y'all not to, survive, but at the end of the day, it's like, come on, man. I'm not with the killing, the black on black killing. I'm not with the, flooding my whole community with drugs. I'm not with that no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with my young brothers following my suit, going to jail, joining gangs. I'm not with that street shit no more. I agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not bigging that up. You're not going to hear me on no internet. You're not going to hear me
I
in the streets.
respect that perspective right there. I respect that. I like that perspective. I understand.
Well, what don't you respect about it then? Because you sound like you're about to come from a double angle, though. So you got a sword in your hand.
I'm not hating them. That's usually followed with a but. You heard? That's usually, but it's not. It's not. Dunny Soprano. Y'all know who that is? Somebody in the back.
Yes, that's the brother Abdul Mokeed. That's H Money Bags' nephew.
Oh, all right, my man. H Money Bags.
That's
shout out H Money, man. Salute to H Money.
Yo, salute, bro.
What's good, Daddy? How y'all doing?
Peace, dog.
Go ahead, Mo.
Yo, Assalamu alaikum, Abdul Mokeed. What what you guys feel about this whole after street thing?
You just sent me the link. I'm just getting in to the conversation. So give me some time to hear what y'all talking about. But my aspect is not F the people in the streets. You know, it's never F the people in the streets. It's F going to the streets. It's let's stop the brothers from resorting to that. Let's build something so that we don't have to resort to the streets, because the streets is the plot to get us, to take us away from all of our families. I mean, I don't know nobody on here but Moshe, but Moshe, you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure that you brothers done some time, right?
Right.
Oh, we done a lot of time.
Right.
Yeah, everybody
Shit, between them two right there, it's like 30 years up there, 40, 50 years
now,
up there.
I got 25 by myself.
I got 27.
Damn, that's like 75 years right there.
You know, that's 52 years right there. Yeah. I had a life sentence. In Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? I wasn't never supposed to come home.
Yeah, we had that too.
Yeah, so we home. So now that we home, what we gonna do? We gonna go back to the streets? Are we gonna stay out the streets and provide for our family? Because I know my family was messed up when I was in there, because I was the sole provider. You understand what I'm saying? So was we gonna go back to the streets and leave our families out here?
Nah, we ain't going back.
So I don't understand why people are getting so mad when the brother said F the streets. Now, we not condoning no ratting, none of that. If you in the streets, then you in the streets. That's what you signed for. But if you want to turn around and you want to walk away, you want to drop your flag, then by all means do so, and nobody can say nothing to you about it.
Yeah, the whole thing. I think people were up in arms about where it was coming from, and in the moment that the individuals was in, because you know one of their compatriots or other rapper dudes supposedly told, and somebody else said, "Oh, this dude told." And now they all getting together, man. F the streets, let's get this money together. So it's like, all right, what qualifies y'all to be saying F the streets? But y'all was doing this the whole time.
They not qualified. You qualified. You understand what I'm saying? They not qualified to say F the streets. But
and you got a lot of dudes. Go ahead.
So is this a whole bunch of dudes? Who told on dudes ganging up together against dudes who didn't tell, saying F the streets?
Definitely. That's definitely a little bit of that.
No, we can't.
Listen, but you gotta understand where that came from. That John came from, you know, and it came from Atlanta. You know, they ain't like us down that John. You understand what I'm saying? And I think it's a lot of New Yorkers down there, but they ain't like us down there.
That's where I'm at now.
Yo, y'all want to hear? Want me to play the 21 Savage joint right now when everything happened?
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Yeah, because I ain't hear none of this stuff. I just, you know, I'm coming on because, you know, you said let's talk about it. So I want to talk about F the streets. I want to hear it though.
I'm gonna show y'all when he backtracked. He said it wrong. Here he goes.
What you said?
Hold on. They saying he backtracked in the Here we go. Y'all see that?
This 21 Savage, right? Mikey?
Yeah, y'all see that? Yeah, y'all see that, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Here we go.
Salute to everybody in the building, man. Hit that like button. We locked in, man. Y'all already know we gonna be back. We back, baby.
Let's get it.
Man, I'm confused. What? Fuck the street. I ain't supposed to say it like that. You shouldn't. I supposed to say save the streets. Yes.
Now that's not bad to say.
We gotta get all the bullshit, all the crazy killer shit out of it, and put the love and the hustle back in the shit. Yeah, but bullshit come to the street. That is what that come to the street. But you just saying we ain't pushing that.
Yeah, we ain't pushing it. We trying to stop it. You can't save everybody, but you know.
I'm jacking that.
But I ain't
save everybody.
I ain't moving no gold posters and saying all rats, y'all, we forgive y'all and we y'all and
Nah. We ain't saying that. We holding accountable and then we letting them go on.
Now see, that's now hold on. Let me just redirect everything. See, that was a discrepancy. I'm gonna take them down real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing this. But that was the big discrepancy right there. The discrepancy was everybody took it like he was saying, you know, forget about those guys. You know, they good, everybody's good. You know what I'm saying, and all that. But that's not the case. When he came with this video at first, see, when he said it, T Herbo, Pooh Shiesty, Young Thug, all these dudes also said at the streets. And a lot of, not everybody, but a lot of the dudes are alleged rats that came and joined 21 Savage after he trying to get these guys to stop feuding over that
Gunna and Young Thug.
Right. He's trying to get them to stop feuding. So everybody's saying they trying to get together with them and their money and just say F the streets because they did that and they know the streets is never going to jack these dudes again. So, all right, listen, let's get our shit back together. Let's get our money. F the streets, forget those values. And before that, before y'all go, I want to ask y'all another thing just to redirect as well. The climate that we are in America as black people right now, as men, is this a time? Are we hearing a conversation starting with street values versus family values again? Is this an argument of forget these street values and these stuff that I learned in the streets, and we're going back to family values, or is it something else? I can go. Whoever can go.
I think it's always a plot for something, especially when it's coming from one of these rap artists, period. You feel what I'm saying? Like you said, now that I'm hearing that and what you're talking about, they probably do got an agenda behind it, you know what I'm saying, for dudes to jack rats and everything. But in all reality, bro, you know what I'm saying, like, they kind of right. We need to get back to the hustle and bringing the love back to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember back in the days when I was coming up to as a child, you know, I'm from Brooklyn, Flatbush. So
where everybody from? Because I'm born in Queens. I'm from Southside Jamaica. I'm from Linden Boulevard 141, but I've been living in Philly since 1999.
That's big.
Hey, I'm from Queens.
Linden Boulevard.
Yeah, I'm from Queens, Murdoch Ave, Farmers Boulevard.
I be over like 134 Guy Brewer. You from what? In Farmers?
Linden and
the Rock, 109 The Rock, 198 Murdoch. Used to get money on 121
right
substance.
Yeah, that's so you was over there with LFM and them, with Long and them, Bones and all.
It was all over. I was mainly on Murdoch and Farmers.
That's the building. That's 121. That's the building.
Yeah, that's Rockaway Homes. That's Rockaway Homes.
Yeah. Salute to them brothers over there. I know them brothers. Yeah, salute to them brothers.
Yeah. That's. I used to hustle on 142 in Rockaway, 141 in Foch, 109 in Sufton, and I'm from over. I'll be over there on like 137 in Guy Brewer, but on Rochdale side like 168 to Farmers over there. That's my squad, the Farmers fanboys.
Oh yeah, Farmers and Guy Brewer right there.
Yeah. Worm, you know Worm.
Back in the days, my man T was over there.
T, Rob, Black Mike.
I was upstate with T. Yeah, T.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to be on that end. I used to be on that end of Farmers though too, by the square.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know about the aisle.
The aisle, right there on the corner of the aisle.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, I used to be over there too. We had opened up, not to go too much into it, but rest in peace. What's the name, man? Sing, man. We opened up a spot in the back thing together because I went away when I got locked up. I got locked up in '96.
Oh yeah.
Yo, you hear me though?
He was locked up.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, so like I said, but like growing up, you know, back in the days, you know, coming up as a child, you know, inside my household was 5%ers. You know, poor righteous teachers. You know, they was real strong on Black history. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when I stepped out the house with kufis. I stepped out the house with, you know, them little buttons on my shirt, Black Power buttons and everything. Right. And I was taught by my relatives, you know, to love your brother, Love your sister. Don't go against that. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It was love back in the days, bro. You understand what I'm saying? We don't even see our little babies out there playing football together, hopscotch, double dutch, none of that stuff that we grew up doing, bro.
You don't even know your neighbors. People don't even know their neighbors no more.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, if that's what it takes, I'm against that. If that's what it takes to bring it back to that, fuck the streets. If it takes for my babies to come out and play and get to know each other, actually grow like we did, in a sense, you know what I'm saying, with the love, then I'm I'm with fuck the streets, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Another baby not dying, another baby not going to jail for 40, 50 years. I'm with that.
Right.
Man, I've been on the after streets joint, man. I've been on that joint. I've been trying to get my niggas up out the streets for I don't know how many years, man.
All right. So what perspective are you on? You building the after streets joint from what perspective? Give us a perspective of that.
Me building? No, I didn't build a platform of saying after streets, but what I do is I go out there and all my young boys, I put everybody in position. I get people their CDL license. I might get them jobs here. I'm a facilitator of that sort. You know what I mean? So anytime one of my youngest, they try to make a step to get up out the game, I'm right there for them. And
that's peace.
I got plenty of people on my page that'll verify and vouch for that. Like I'm who they go to when they need to get out of that, when they need to get right.
That's peace. That's peace.
We got that's what I do in Philly too. Like that's what I do in Philly. And I'm coming to New York now. Like my sister is the head of the NAACP of the whole New York. L. Joy Williams.
That's fire.
That's fire.
So I'm coming back to Queen. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. My brother. I apologize.
But
so
know what I love? This is what I'm talking about right here. What he's saying. But you coming back to New York and the brothers that's on the panel now, being there to link, come and actually do something. What I had said earlier is about when you say F the streets or you say things, the thing is about what's being done after that, not just making a statement. Or what are you doing to contribute? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So what I'm doing, because I've been going for Queens since 1998. I mean, I still come back and forth, but I haven't lived out there since 1998. And I'm getting ready to start working with the brothers over there on 121 and something. Where you say you was at Masjid Alhamdulillah, where they changed it to Masjid Yeah. So I'm getting ready to work with them with Malik, Iman Malik, and all of them over there, because that's where I came up under Iman Bilal over there.
So you know what's crazy? I used to train under Mutaka Beer.
You used to train Mutaka Beer, Swam on Ferndale, right across the street from Crows. Yeah, that's my man. That you remember his son that got killed?
Yes, my father. My father name's Hakeem. Hakeem. So him and my father is real close.
Your father probably tight with my family then. H from the El Hadi tribe. We El Hadis. You know what I'm saying? So we deep. Mutaka Bear. My father was a Wing Chun master also, Abu Rashid. You know what I mean? So that's why I was tight in with them.
All right, we know y'all can go back to the Queens and all that. Y'all can go back.
Don't be hating.
That's the brother. That's the brother.
Talk a bit. That's the old head, man. That's the old head, man.
Y'all Queens heads. Y'all can go back to Gardens and all that. All right, whatever. Yeah, all that. Yeah, East Elmhurst and all that.
Always a Brooklyn guy, though, man. Right? Always Brooklyn.
Yeah, man. The streets been dead, man. The dudes gotta realize that, big bros, because at the end of the day, man, it's nothing but dudes out there torturing themselves, man. I'm just keeping it real. It's a torture on the mind. You know what I'm saying? The mental, spiritually. Forget listen, bro. The telling part, man. Listen.
It's over.
The telling part. We ain't even talking about. We talk about our kids right now, sitting up in them graves, going to them early graves. 20, 30 of them getting locked up on indictments for one body. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. One body, 40 people going down. Come on, bro.
I mean, what's the purpose of us going through everything we went through, Smitty? I mean, the purpose of us is not we sat in those maximum. Everybody on this platform sat in maximum security prisons at the most fertile time of our lives. We were at our most strongest times as young men. We were sitting in some white man's prison somewhere.
Right.
So why would we then now come home after spending so many years in all these prisons and still be in support of a lifestyle that ultimately can destroy another generation of young black men?
Listen,
We
did
have
you hear what
we have a moral
Sorry.
obligation. We have listen, I disagree with nothing 21 Savage said. He didn't say we not moving. He said we not moving the goalposts.
Right.
That means we're not trying to change the rules as they apply to a particular group of individuals who didn't do right by the street code. He's talking about whether or not they want to continue a lifestyle that ultimately leads to a perpetual cycle of self-destructive behavior. That's what he's talking about. So I don't think it's nobody on this platform who is not taking a stand in the work that they're doing right now, who's not taking a stand against the same type of stuff that he's speaking about. So
that particular lifestyle, and
I don't think anybody up here is against it, right? But I think it's a thin line when you now, like to Mikey's point, individuals are coming after the fact saying it, and these are the individuals themselves who didn't necessarily hold true to that street code. If you was in that lifestyle, then you were in that lifestyle. Don't say it because you didn't hold true to those rules of that lifestyle.
Right.
Say it because you genuinely care about the well-being of individuals and you don't want to see another generation get destroyed. Don't play games with the people who've been through that stuff for real.
And can I say something real quick? Real quick, I just want to add, they want our sons in prison. They want our sons in prison because even the ones like my kids ain't never seen a day in the streets or the hood or nothing. They suburb boys, right? But they trying to put the pressure on the suburb kids now to be gangsters too. You know what I'm saying? And the young boy, what's his name, Pooh Shiesty, he said, your father's a killer, but you ain't, you just like Bronny James. So they want your kids in jail. They want your kids to be killers. They want us out here killing each other, man. So if we know that, we got to do better and stop it.
Nah, you're right. And you said that loud and clear, Moshe, when you say, you know, after doing all that time in the prison system, sitting up in that cell, you know, going through what we went through, you know what I'm saying, before the cell, going through what we went through in the streets, you know, we are the testimony today. You understand? And the reason why the reason why the streets is the way it is because there's a disconnect between us and the babies. And I say that to say, you got brothers on this panel right now that hit the streets, you understand, do the nonprofit organizations and, you know, go speak to the kids. But then you got the other half that's actually still in the streets, still gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? That did the same 27 you did the same 26. You know what I mean? Those are the dudes we got to get out the way. That's the real problem. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got a group of us over here that the youngest don't think we fly, but we the official ones. We really the official ones. The dudes that they following, it's the bozos.
Follow us. Yeah, they follow us.
Basically, they call yo big bro, let me holler at you, yo bro. Then what's up? You understand what I'm saying? Y'all still getting those calls. So that's really the disconnect, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of powerful brothers that is the testimony of what's going on and what's happening today. And then you got these bozos that's still whispering in their ear like Pooh Shiesty and the dudes on the big homies on the street still leading the way in the wrong way. You feel what I'm saying? So this is what we up against right now, man.
Well, Mikey has said something earlier, man. That's pivotal, man. And the main thing, man, is you know, with character and pushing good character, even with the younger, really teaching them, no matter what situation you in, so you can identify, you know, what's wrong, so you can identify how to actually move and how to actually go about things. Because as this conversation started, it be about, you know, individuals that wasn't living honorable no type of way anyway. So if you know you know this lifestyle is particularly destructive, whether you quote unquote in the streets or you not in the streets. You know what I'm saying? If you live in a destructive lifestyle, if you live in a lifestyle that's taking you away from your family, that's taking you away from growth and development, it's wrong altogether. You know what I'm saying? Are you against that altogether? This is why I was particularly saying, like, I want to just say solely F that, because I know individuals now that still hang out, that still be on blocks, whatever, still hang out outside, but they taking care outside, right? And they ain't doing nothing wrong. They just be out there. And I'm like, yeah, I still like, because they just be in tune to the neighborhood, throwing stuff for the kids all the time, making sure people is all right, making sure the neighborhood is safe, and people is out there doing that. Shout out to Mandu too, man. Shout out to Mandu Warrior.
Shout out to Mandu.
Well, I just thought about something. I just thought about something that they posted that went viral on when you helped that little girl out. And like some kids, but they tried to jump this girl, but he was outside. He was out there in the streets. But bringing that love back, like was said earlier, bringing that love back, man, bringing that unity back to where you have a block party. You know what's going on in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You know who your neighbors are, right? You know who that kid right there is. Even though he acts stupid, you know who he is, and he more than likely he see you, he gonna act right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't.
Now, like,
we got to get back to. See, we the old heads now. We was gone, so they was left out in the streets with a bunch of suckers. But now that we back, we got to be the ones that's putting that back into them and pouring into the youth. You know, that's you exactly. I agree with everything that you said 100%, brother.
But didn't 21 Savage say that? Somebody said something about saving the streets. Who was that said that?
21 Savage. Y'all want to hear some more of what he had to say?
Yeah, that's what he said. He took it back, and the young boy he was talking to, he had brought that up about the rats though too. He's like, "Yo, bro, that's why he said sticking to it. Like we ain't pushing the goalposts back. All of a sudden, you want to come and switch what you said.
Hold on. Let me just say something.
Yeah.
Before we get into all of that, I want to say something about that too, because he's saying he's not jacking the rats. And he got a image and a rep and a fan base to market to. So I understand his perspective.
No, the other person said that. The kid he was talking to said that.
I know, but hear me out. He said something. He's going to say something else about rats in this coming up.
Yeah.
But if we all on this next mode, why would we still hold these feelings, hold these gripes against individuals that did bad? Why would we still hold all these things? Why would that even matter to us getting money in our lives and doing us and going to this next perspective? I'm just being honest.
I don't think because of that, because you already know. I went through with my people, so it's like the reason is, it's like
that's
it's when we talking about character.
That's a great question, Mikey.
And honor. So when you show, and it ain't just that. If you show you're dishonorable in whatever type of fashion it is, and you still can't be honest, thing that means you just can't be trusted with anything, right? So now, the way the world is shifting right now, there is a lot going on from all different types of perspectives, right? And even Islamically, like you have signs being shown, like signs of the end days is like it's really like it's a lot going on in the world.
It's a lot,
you know, and we gonna be forced to stick together. I'm saying more, and why? So if I know, bro, if like all of us on here, and I know, like, yo, bro, listen, we gotta really get up, protect our family, protect these kids, protect our neighborhoods. It's gonna be certain individuals that's with us, that's around us, that we know can't be trusted, bro.
They gotta go. They gotta go.
I agree with you.
That's like in the words of Mikey B, just being honest.
I agree with you.
They gotta go.
Where we came from in our earlier years, I'm gonna say 20, 30 years ago, where we came from, how we started out, we were a force to be reckoned with. The way these dudes plot, try to kill each other in the streets, bro, that is a hard task. That's going to be a heavy task because we invented all the ways to snake, slime, grime, and get up on each other. And let me tell you something. We didn't do all right or good things, but look how easily we ran through shit. And I'm not only talking about inmates. once we united. Once we united, bro, it was one already. Once dudes came together, it was over. Unification is the number one thing.
Absolutely. That's why they keep us divided.
Unification is the number one thing. Once we united, you see, we went from inmates to the police. I'm just being honest, bro. Once we was feeling ourselves, and we got a little united, bro. It was homies with Muslims and guard bodies and Brooklyn dudes and Queens neutral dudes helping out. But that little unification, bro, we rocked the whole East Coast, bro. I'm just being honest, bro.
Whole East Coast. Yo, that's
I don't want to. With that little unification. Once we all, because we all fed in. The whole New York jumped in. No matter what nobody want to say.
And that's gonna happen.
All them black Brooklyn dudes, when I was blood, all them Brooklyn dudes was running with me. They was holding me down. It wasn't too much bloods. And not to go back to that, but I'm just talking about this is the streets, bro. When y'all hear this shit on the internet, bro, it's to us to disconnect ourselves from our peoples, bro. But what would I be or who would I be if my family turned their back on me when I was still in the streets? How could we just turn our backs on all our brothers and sisters because they down when we was once them people that was all the way down. We was once them dudes, bro.
And a lot of them youngins already feel alone, bro. A lot of them already feel alone.
In our time, we were the worst dudes, bro.
No, you're right, Mikey. I think what Mikey.
Can I say? Okay.
And I don't disagree with Mikey, right? And I understand what Mikey's saying. I don't think that, at least my position is that if you're 50 years old, if you're 60 years old, and you act as if you're at a point in your life where it appears as if you're going backwards and you're not going forward, while I might not turn my back on you, I'm damn sure moving away from you.
I understand.
However, if you are a young child that's being influenced by the streets and you haven't developed the maturity to be able to make responsible decisions for yourself, but you're just being young and ignorant and immature, I think that's a different conversation.
Right.
I think we are morally obligated to enjoin the good and forbid the wrong, and for no matter who's doing it, whether young or old, it's our responsibility. However, I'm more inclined towards the youth who I feel have not necessarily been manipulated at this point or influenced enough to throw their lives away if in comparison to somebody who might be 50 or 60 years old doing the same thing. It might be easier to help change a younger individual's way of thinking versus changing an older individual's way of thinking. So I understand your point, Mikey. I'm not turning my back on anybody, and I don't think any of us would as well. I think we do have to be firm and stern and not waste time, because a lot of time has been wasted trying to deal with people who just don't seem like they want to change.
I think, I don't agree with that too much as far as the age bracket, because any man could be changed. You understand what I'm saying? It's how you come at that person. You know what I'm saying? And what you coming at that person with. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's all through the Bibles. It's all through the Qurans. You understand? We had stubborn prophets, a bunch of stubborn prophets. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of brothers in the Bibles and the Qurans that wasn't, that actually didn't get it until.
That's the one God loves the most. That's the one God loves the most. Man.
Exactly. So I'm saying, like, it don't make a difference what age you are. You know what I'm saying? If you've been manipulated or not. You understand? Once they see everybody united and doing one thing, everybody's gonna jump on that board, because nobody want to be left out. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be left out. Nobody wants to feel left alone and not do. In this world today, everybody want to do the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? So if them rappers and everybody is pushing to be a Muslim, I guarantee you, mostly everybody gonna try to be a Muslim or a Christian or something. You understand what I'm saying? So if we pushing peace, and power to our community and everybody, and we, you know, we being actually nice to each other, and, you know, taking care of us, man, and showing that, then, you know, everybody will jump on board, man. It's not no age group or no age bracket, man. And when we doing something positive, we gotta leave the negative alone. Forget about the negative. Push that shit in the past. Whatever happened in the past, it happened in the past, man. We starting a new life. We turning over a new leaf. We learning new things. We learning how to be civilized again. You understand what I'm saying? So if we gonna deal with positive, we gotta push the negative away for now. That's it. You know what I mean? That's real shit, man. That's how I look at it, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I see what I like to do is I like to look for like the leaders, who the kids follow. You know what I mean? You know, in every age group, you got a leader among those kids, the one that they all go to and they look up to. So when you snatch them up and you change the mindset of them, you get them thinking different. The other kids that's around them follow them, because they relate to them. They don't relate to us. They think we old, washed up, you know what I mean? All of that stuff like that. So the kids that's closer to their generations, that's leaders, that have good heads on their shoulders that you could talk to, and you could guide and to the right path. Those are the ones that you got to focus on, because those are the ones that's going to be able to change the people. Just like how, like, I use Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. You know, Elijah Muhammad was that bull, but Malcolm X was the one that was really bringing them people in like that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what you need.
Right. But yo, how y'all feel about that? What I just said? You think it's an age group with it, like?
Yeah, I'm to be honest with you, I think like once some like what Musa said, once they get to a certain age, man, it's kind of hard, and then it's almost over for them. So you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that would waste my time either. I think that I would more pour so in the youth. If the dude is 60 years old and he still want to be out in the streets, and he still want to be that nigga.
So what happened to I Am My Brother's Keeper? What happened to Leave Nobody Behind?
Well,
I didn't say get rid of them or knock them down, but we don't have time for that. If you it's too late in the game. If you don't want to get your stuff together on your own, and you 60 years old, 50 years, I'm 45.
I don't know.
I'm 45 years old. I came home when I was 31, right?
Yeah.
I already knew what time it was when I came home at 31. How you twice my age and you can't get it together? How you got little dudes out here that's doing better?
So it's easier. It's easier dealing with the youth, though. I mean, a lot of times when you got somebody that's older already and been through it in season, that's somebody you got to watch a whole lot more. Into games, manipulate, and like bro said, we ain't got time for that. We help them. We do what we can, but
I don't know if we're all brothers. I'm being honest. Listen. I went through phases in my life. I'm just
go ahead. Preach.
Like
I'm with you.
Preach.
I'm with you, bro.
Really,
Yeah.
You my brother. I love you. But I'm just being honest. I don't have I went through a period of my life where I went through the whole period of idealism, and I was like thinking that we all gonna be united, all kumbaya and all that stuff. I think that, is there a potential for us to be aligned, and perhaps we all may be aligned with similar interests, perhaps. But in my mind, will we all be united? No, I don't think that it's. I don't think the mentality of people will afford us the opposite brotherhood, and we're all going to be unified and marching to the same beat. I just don't think at this point right now in our people's history that's.
Musa, you could look to the best example.
No, I'm not saying.
To us says it. Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, shows that. You know
I'm not saying let's put our energy.
Law shows that.
But I'm not saying let's put all our energy into, you know, that old man that we feel is washed up, that we feel can't, you know, that it's over for him, right? I'm not saying put our energy into him, but I'm also saying, yo, don't look down on him. Don't look down on him. Don't walk past him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, don't be shy to take that initiative to lift him up. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we can't forget everybody. Just because we getting it right and we doing right, you understand, and we live in a positive light, we can't forget everybody, no matter how much we think this person is washed up. Somebody could have thought we was washed up 20 years ago. And it was finished for, and it was done for us. When you was doing that 27, they could have been like, yo, Moshe is washed up. He ain't never coming back.
No, I know what you mean. No, but I'm not saying that and I mentioned, I don't know if you were on. I don't think we get into the business of denigrating and looking down upon people. I'm just saying that if people are exhibiting characteristics that they are less prone to wanting to change a lot of their destructive ways, I'm gonna do less of my time I'm not gonna waste my time trying to help correct that destructive behavior versus a young individual who hasn't really been programmed to that point where they're not gonna be willing to change their ways. And look, we work with youth all day, every day, and sometimes they seem like they're the most challenging individuals to change their lives. But because their way of thinking hasn't necessarily been fully developed yet, it hasn't become second nature for them to act on that level. Where 50, 55, 60 years old, individuals have already developed that. They're already set in their way of living. So it's more challenging for them to expect that they're going to change that versus a more young individual. I would prefer to invest my time into somebody who is more receptive to that. From me, the youth have been more receptive than individuals who are more seasoned, is what I'm saying.
I get that. I definitely get that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. You know, and I agree with you on that. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, I put that but in it. You know, I just think of it as a whole. You know what I'm saying? If we, you know, the prophets, like I said, they came to the people as a whole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Everybody, nobody left out. The cripple, the blind, the poor, the rat, whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Bro, hold up.
The
Because you're
snake.
looking at it that way. People were there were people left out, bro. Not so much left out. I don't like that word saying left out, but there are people that is not with what's happening. That's gonna go against what we're doing. Even people that you may think is with you, right? And it's like being firm and knowing that and standing up for that as well. So just like you say yes, you gotta know you gotta say no as well. The same thing. You don't mean just because, oh yeah, you know, we pushing right, like dudes is pushovers. No. You violating kids, you come and violate, you're not with a thing, then so be it. Just like they say, Allah is like the most merciful, right? Give you everything, bless you and all that. But his wrath is a wrath you do not want to feel at all.
I mean,
at all. And even with the prophets, peace and blessings be them all. Nigga, they wasn't kumbayaing with everybody.
No, they was warring against other Muslims too.
Bro, it wasn't.
You know, you got to be careful with that too, because it's like even inside your own sect. See me personally, I don't let religion separate me from my brothers. You could be whatever, I don't care. You could be Buddhist, you could be Jewish, you could be whatever you want. If you're black, I'm rocking with you. You know what I mean? As far as that, I'm not going to cut you off just because of your personal opinions or beliefs. So we have to get back to that, and it's hard to get back to that when there's so many things that separate us. Because even inside, we take the Islamic community. You got Sufis, you got Shiites, you got Sunni, you got FOI. You know what I mean? You got so many things that separate us. Everything we do separates us. So we got to forget about all of that and just get back to being brothers again. Forget about what they believe in, what he believe in, what he on, or whatever, and get back to talking to each other and what they call that, meshing with each other. You know what I mean? Gelling with each other. We got to get to a solid core, because we all over the place. Spread it out. Niggas ain't together, man. It's messed up. It's real messed up out here. And I really don't see it. I don't see it personally. It getting tight like that with all the brothers, all the black people coming together, because it's just too much stuff separating us, man. Too many things putting us against each other.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I've been around. I'm being honest from my personal experiences, man. I've been around people who did not look like me, who did not come from my background, did not come from my neighborhood, and you know this, Abdul Muqeed. I mean, all of you guys know this about me. I mean, I've traveled the world. I've been fortunate to travel the world, and I've seen brotherhood from different lenses, and I've been treated with high respect, dignity, and integrity from individuals who I would never expect it to treat me like that and be considered brothers in their eyes. So brotherhood to me, unity to me, is a different construct than the fact that, you know, you're black, right? I mean, at one time I was caught up in that, you know, the whole Pan-African, you know. But let me tell you something, man. You know, one thing I noticed is that's a black unity. We're gonna all be united and black, and it's just there's no evidence that has ever happened like that in everybody
ever.
Like even coming over here on them slave ships, you know, once people got off them slave ships and they knew what the situation was, even before that, you know, people was already picked their sides. Some was picking the slave master. They was capturing other blacks. Yo, listen, let me tell you something. So I don't know if there's ever all going to be together and we all going to be bopping to the same. I'm trying to figure out where's it happening. It's always and
you going in and out.
Going out, yeah.
Mute yourselves. Maybe you gotta mute yourselves sometime.
Are we? You know, and I understand the whole thing about, you know, us coming together as a people, and we need to be united as a people. And I just think that stuff that's just cliche. It sounds really, really good, right?
It sounds good,
but it's just no evidence that that's actually something that's like. And I'm evidence based, and it's not happening. Like where do we see all black people being united at?
That's true.
Let me say, I see him
the
out
way
here.
he say it though, just the way he say it, like it's not happening. I don't see it. Like
they united out here though.
Listen, all of you guys know me.
You stand for righteousness.
All
you stand for righteousness, and you don't. That's how it goes.
He's doing two things at once. He's using history, three things: history, statistics, and science.
Listen, Mikey, KK, all y'all know me for years. I'm as black as they come, right? Look, I'm black. I love black.
Facts.
But if we gonna use facts, listen, man, we not all united, and we was inside prison together fighting for black unity against other blacks who were not unified with us. So
that's crazy.
So we was trying to come together with other blacks. Other blacks was like, nah, we good over here. Y'all crazy over there.
We tried to fight them to come together.
It
was a fight to come together.
Like, come on,
that don't make no sense.
This is my point. Like, I'm trying to figure out what is it that when we start saying, yo, we need to come together. Yo, we as a people. Yo, I got over that. Yo, I used to be like that, Smitty. Yo, we as a people. Yo, we need to come together. Yo, what do we really mean?
I don't believe you came up here and broke this down this easily, though. Like,
I'm just being honest, man.
I've been up here for like 2 years trying to make this point when y'all been gone, bro. See what I'm saying?
Yo, listen, at the time that Malcolm and them existed, it was different because we was forced as a people to look inward.
To be united,
to focus on black unity when our brothers and sisters were being hanged in Alabama and Mississippi and Louisiana. And it's different when you're talking black unity there. But once we integrated into the society and now we have different stratas of what success looks like according to American ideals, you can't go to Michael Jordan and be like, yo, you my black brother. You can't go to somebody else and be like, yo, you my black brother. If you're not in that economical strata, we ain't brothers, homie. So we talking something totally different when we start talking about black unity. And that's black unity for me and you, Smitty, because we have a shared interest, a shared ideal, shared beliefs, shared philosophies. But what about other black people who don't think like you and I think? Are they also our brothers that we should lend the black hand to? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I try to kind of feel like it's idealism run amok. It's what we would like in our idealistic minds, but the reality of what we see every day. Let me tell you something. Abdul Muqeet was just in Chicago on the South Side. Go to the south side of Chicago, talk about black unity. We all need to come together.
They coming together. They coming.
I'm
What
not.
you mean?
No.
No. They definitely not coming together on no south side of Chicago.
In one
They not together though. They coming together.
No.
But it's
In
still,
one capacity,
You know
they
that
may
they got
be.
they on the joint. They got the least homicides and the
No,
least amount of homicides.
no. I'm not
10 years.
saying that. I'm not saying that. They are. But what I'm saying is that everybody not on that type of time. It's
No,
the
not
same
yet.
thing. It's the same thing if you go to a community in Los Angeles and expecting that the Hoover's gonna be on that type of time with the Rolling 20s. If the Bounty Hunter's gonna be on the same type of time with Grape Street or Rolling 60s and so on and so forth. You can't tell me that wherever we go across the country, everybody talking black unity. It don't work like that.
Right. I get you on that.
Go ahead,
I get
brother.
you on
I'm
that.
sorry.
We are black people. Let's just face the fact. Let's have a hard conversation.
Listen.
Let's have a hard conversation that black people are more divided today than we've ever been in the history of let's have that conversation.
That's a
But let me
fact.
say that that's only the people that live around each other. The people that live around each other is divided. Like, let me tell you, like the people the neighborhoods, you beefing with the people in your neighborhoods. You beefing with the people that you see all the time, right?
If your neighborhood is divided, how is everything else not?
That's why. There go my point. Thank you. You got to get the neighborhood together first. First, you got to get the neighborhoods together. You can't just go spread peace all over the world. You got to start with the neighborhood first. You got to get them together. You can't spread peace all over the world if they still fighting around the corner from each other. They beefing with each other on the block from each other.
And that's why I said. That's why I said what I.
Even if we didn't get everybody together, if we can get everybody to stop killing each other, that's a feat in itself.
That listen, trying to get everybody to stop killing each other is like walking to the moon. It's not gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. Getting everybody to stop killing each other is simpler than getting everybody together. Listen, you ain't gotta be together with him, just don't kill him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, KK? Leave him alone.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Y'all ain't gotta
leave
be
him
friends.
alone.
Y'all ain't gotta be
But
cool.
I was saying that because every time I go somewhere, right? Every time I go to another state or another place, they always embrace me with love. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm from somewhere else. First, when you go somewhere, they look at you to try to figure you out where you from, right? They try. But when they find out that you're not from here, that means you don't have no. Huh?
No, I hear you. No, I was just shouting somebody out in the chat.
Okay, yeah. When they find out that you're not from there, you don't have no ties to like maybe one of their ops or something like that. They embrace you with open arms. So it's not that they just don't like the people that they be around and they deal with. So that's how we got to change them to start fighting. They don't got beef with people over here and over there and over there. It's people right next to them.
You made a valid point about the communities and us taking care of our neighborhood and getting the love back in our neighborhood. Because at one point, like I said, you come to the block, you violate the block, everybody is on you. You know what I'm saying? Your mom, you do something bad on the block. If your moms ain't see you do it, your neighbor saw you do it, you're getting spanked and brought to your crib. Certain things, disciplines like that, you know what I'm saying, that need to be implemented back into our communities. You understand what I'm saying? Like, now it's like, oh, don't touch my fucking kid. You hit my kid, I'm coming out, and I'm shit like that. But if your kid is out here cursing, doing shit, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. You understand? It seems like, how we was disciplined. We grew up saying like, yo, damn, my kids ain't growing up that way. My kids ain't growing up that way. But a lot of us really ain't, you know what I'm saying, came out to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like the majority of us, if you look at it. You know what I'm saying? The people we left behind, they was doing good. A lot of people you came back home to are successful right now.
Absolutely.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? They successful. It's that we took that road to go up in the streets and do whatever. We didn't have to do that. Yeah, I played football, bro. I was a football star, bro. I could have went to any prep school, everything. Like when I was like 14, 15, Nazareth, Poly Prep, Holy Cross. All of them used to come to my games and watch me. You understand? I would have had a full scholarship, but I chose the streets, bro. I chose to play with my gun. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you have a father in your life?
I had listen, my father was in my life, but he wasn't in my life. Like he started a family just like how the gods was back in the days. You know what I'm saying? They start a family here, then go start another family there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, my support came from women. My moms, my grandmas was at my games. My pops wasn't at my games. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's just that, man, like we chose that life. A lot of us is left behind. That was left behind. They successful, man. We always look at the gang banging, like and the people that went to jail. That's not all of us. That's not all of us. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah, I also want to speak about, and I know, and thank you for that too, Smitty. I know sometimes people, when they hear me say that, they think I'm being harsh. I'm coming from the perspective of reality and what the journey that I've been on, right?
Right.
The people I sit with on a daily basis, who I consider to be very close to me, and that are my brothers, are individuals from India, from Palestine, from Pakistan, from Egypt, and these are individuals who, for all intents and purposes, are not trying to snake me, are not trying to betray me.
I know you'd be like, wow, right? These are my friends, right? How far I came.
No, what hurts me though? This is what hurts me, is that sometimes I look around and I be like, damn, where my friends at?
I'm not gonna lie, yo. I had that same, like when I was working, and you know, like we did a 180 with our life, bro. So we're doing a 180 with your life. It put us in a room with a lot of different individuals. I found myself, I'm picketing with like politicians, like, and let me tell you something, probably 25 years prior, they probably were the same people that were pushing the bills to keep me in prison longer.
Absolutely.
And now I'm actually, we pushing the same bills to keep people out of prison to do different things. So it was a real culture shock to be in these positions with these individuals that were once really my sworn enemies when I was a part of the street life. When I was a person that you probably could say F. Yeah. So that never goes over my head when I get into these rooms and where I came from to where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? My change is real. It is what it is. And when I get into these rooms, I'll be like, damn. I'll be like, I'm here all the way from look where I came from. And let me tell you something. Really, that is just the most high working through us. You know what I'm saying? That's just testimonies from where your life can be to where your life can go. You know what I'm saying? That is all. This is all testimonies. Really, our lives are just testimonies from. Because like when I be saying, I'm not saying that to cap or none of that, but like we like the worst dudes from our times. From our times, we were like some of the worst dudes in prison. Some of the worst dudes.
Nah, we were.
To be these great individuals, these great mature men, great working directors, case managers, whatever we doing, because we all across New York, credible messengers, talking to these kids, giving them a better way. That just showed the testament to the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
And I do. Abdul, that's you, Abdul Moki.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Can I ask y'all? Let me ask y'all a question, right? Because we all from New York. Because when I left New York, that it was really starting, and I didn't want to be a part of it, right? What made y'all go to? I mean, I understand we always had games. We had like the Polo gang, Hellraisers. You know what I mean? Hellraisers, Long Family. But then, what made all of y'all decide to become Bloods and Crips?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, guess, man.
I mean, shit. Listen, man. That was like I said, that was the wave at the time. You know what I'm saying? New York was on fire. You know, it was something. It was something that was, I just say, violent and fun. I guess at the time, it was like, New York was so dead in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just wanted some action.
We wanted the action, man. It was just action. It was action packed. You know what I mean? Being a blood, being a Crip, you know, a Latin King. You know what I'm saying? Getting caught up in dude's territory. You know what I'm saying? Like having to bang out. You know what I mean? Like it was just, it was like a badge of honor at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, man. Like that flag, having that flag in your pocket, or you know, like, it turned you into something different, man. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, the reason I turned blood, it was like I said, man, like I said, before I was a blood, though, my whole neighborhood was Crip. You know what I'm saying? I told this on Mikey B situation, you know what I'm saying? I told that on Mikey B. Me and Mikey B did a show.
I interviewed
somebody.
You know what I'm saying? And I used to do, you know what I'm saying? I used to be actually dealing with the Crips. You feel what I'm saying? Coming up.
Mm-hmm.
My whole neighborhood was Crips, full of Crips. You feel what I'm saying? And I chose that route, and I went that route. And I saw my neighborhood just, you know, picking up dudes that was just trying to be down. You feel what I'm saying? Just not for the cause, of just being around. You feel what I'm saying? And I didn't like it, so I moved and did the blood thing, and I wound up liking it. You know what I'm saying? I actually loved it. You know?
Yeah, because I used to ask Bags that, you know, Bags and his brother Hamo. I used to ask him and Muhammad. I used to be like, yo, like why? Because
let me answer that for you, bro. You heard? Let me answer that for you too. Let me shout out to bro. Free Jay Burton's in the building, man. Salute to Jay Burton, man.
Yo, free Jay Burton, man. That's the bro.
Free Jay Burton, man. Salute to Jay Burton, man. Free Jay Burton, man.
Jay Burton been down for damn near 40 years on the West Coast, man. Like literally.
Free Jay Burton,
you know, from out of Nickerson Gardens and Watts, one of Watts' original, man, young original OGs from back in the days, for real.
Right.
That's our brother right there, man. They need the free
Bounty Hunters.
Yo, Bounty Hunter for real. He's all the way
original
tapped in.
You know, I grew up a little bit in California from like 84 to 88. So I was out there, my cousins, my family, they all Crips in LA. That's why I asked y'all that. Like when I was 6 years old, I was cleaning bullet wounds and stuff like that on my cousins and stuff like that.
I'm gonna give you the perspective of that, of the Damu, from my perspective, and how, you know, while I joined, and while I think a lot of brothers on the East Coast joined, behind me, myself, or before me. You know what I mean? For real.
Hold on, that's Killer Kev in the building. What Killer Kev is that? That's the original Killer Kev.
I don't see you. See Killer Kev in the building?
It said somebody said Killer Kev in the building, but is that Killer Kev? Killer Kev from Brownsville?
I think they thought he was on the panel. They asked him, is he in the building?
Okay, because they thought, okay, KK. All right, copy. I didn't mean to cut you off, pardon me, brother.
They thought KK was Killer Kev. So from the perspective of myself and brothers that I think came before me, it was really a call to arms for Black brothers in prison. It was really just a call to arms. Myself, I first connected with Damu in 1995. 1994 going into 1995. I first seen what was going on with Damu in 1994 in Green. I was neutral. At that time, I was a street gang from Queens, GM family, Young Guns. That's what everybody knew me as. And Nectar's Latin Kings were heavy.
I heard that job before. Yeah, I heard of that
Yeah.
joint before.
GM Family and Young Guns. That's what I was in Queens when I was a kid. But Guns and Money, Getting Money. GM Family. But from there, I think a lot of people joined up because they seen the tactics of the Latin Kings and the Netas. We seen when I was in Green when I was neutral, because I was a neutral Queens dude upstate. So I seen the tactics of the Netas and the Latin Kings. The first person I popped on upstate was a Neta. So really, we understood that they was on some racist shit. Really, just being honest. So it was easy for neutral blacks and neutral Spanish to churn blood after that. Okay. Once we seen the actual thing that they were doing upstate, a lot of us joined up after that. And people that didn't join up, a lot of guys supported me that was neutral. I was blood. And, in the early 90s, the mid 90s, a lot of neutral guys supported me. A lot of dudes that weren't in a gang, rode out with me in a lot of different situations. You see what I'm saying? So we seen.
Yeah. See, now me.
What the Latin Kings and the Netas was doing. And once it came a call of arms and dudes started joining up, like myself, I was just getting busy with the Damus a lot. I was putting in work with the homies, but I was neutral. But a lot of my guys from Queens or Brooklyn or the Bronx or wherever was already blood. But if they in my house or we going to court together, and if they popping, I'm going to pop with them. You know what I'm saying? So it came to a point where it was like, really, I made so much enemies. I put in so much work with the homies. Homies was saluting me already. Certain dudes were saluting me. And then it just came to a point, right? And don't get me wrong, really, besides that, what I seen, what they were going through with the Latin Kings and the Netas, my personal gripe was with the police. At that time, Damus was the only people that fought against the police.
That's what I'm with.
And really, when I came home, the first thing I shook out with was the police. So they was I had a major beef with the police as a neutral dude. I was popping on the police. I was fighting police when I was neutral before I turned Damu. I had a major beef with the cops due to the Damus rolling with the homies. And the homies was riding. That first generation, bro, them dudes that was there, it was a call of brotherhood. It was a call of arms for black people, because even if you weren't actually blood, if you was neutral, you was respected, you was welcomed, you was embraced. And if you was peoples, as we called peoples, then automatically, if you came around us and you was peoples, then we had to go with you. If you was Damu, if you was God body, if you was Muslim, if you was neutral, it didn't make a difference. If Moshe told me, yo, Mikey B, such and such just pulled up in 2 block with you, make sure he's good. I gotta go with him. I gotta make sure I know he peoples now.
Okay.
That's how we go. But go ahead, bro.
Let me ask you, because all right, so when I left in 98, right? I left in 98. Everybody from like 108 and stuff, and I think they all turned Crip, right? And everybody from like 109 turned blood, right? And like dudes was cutting chicks on the train, like to get in the blood gang and all of that stuff. Like, where that came from? Because I know that's not what y'all was about. So how did that come about?
You want to answer that, Mo?
Yeah, I'm gonna answer the first question, then the second one too. So when I first went, like Mikey, when I first got introduced to like Rikers Island, one of the things that I experienced early on, back in the days in Mar 5, was first of all, an individual by the name of Malik, aka Bed-Stuy, or Bed-Stuy Malik, however you want to call him. He introduced me to the lifestyle early on, but he just was really schooling me on the nuances of what was going on around us in the environment. So for whatever reason, he took a liking to me. Like he was like on my body, like really like, yo, bro, like I know your energy. I could tell you ain't with no shenanigans. Like even though it was my first time on Rikers Island, I was scared to death. But he could also know I wasn't gonna tolerate just anybody just doing anything to me. So, but he also, one thing that he did to me was he was schooling me about what was happening. Like for instance, I didn't know how the phone situation worked, and there was what they had on Rikers Island. I'm sure we all remember what was an SPA, and that's like a suicide prevention watcher. And he was an adult Latin King dude in an adolescent house. But he was making sure that all of his manitos, all of his little brothers was getting on the phone more than any other body and everybody else in the house. And he was going to use force if we basically tried to base up against him. And he was older. He was like 35 years old. We was kids. We 16 years old. This dude was a complete adult, like really like, asserting his authority in the house with us. And so this is what Malik was telling me at the time. He was like, yo, we bopping this B gang thing. And I was just like, what's that? You know what I mean? He was like, yo, that's that blood life. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like the movie Colors? Like, that's the only thing I knew of the lifestyle. I was like, you mean like the movie Colors? He's like, nah, not like that. So he started showing me stuff like that. He's like, yo, you see what they doing over there? He's like, yo, how many black people see using the phone throughout the day? And I was like, not many. He was like, yeah, there's a reason for that. He said, how many Spanish people you see using the phone? I was like, predominantly everybody using the phone. He's like, exactly. And it was being controlled by the adult dude. He said, so this is what we fighting against. We fighting to reclaim like our dignity and respect, because if we don't stand up, nobody else will. So I started seeing it through that lens, like, oh shoot, I would have never probably saw that, because I never owned a phone on Rikers Island other than the fact that when I was in the Bing, I never was one of those dudes like, yo, this is my phone, but I never not used the phone. Like if you said, yo, I wouldn't use the phone, I probably would have broke half your face. Like, whoa, yeah, I can't use it. All right, boom, I'm off this. Yeah, half your face is cracked in half. Like, all right, boom. I already knew the language, how to talk, right? But for me, I never had an issue with using the phone, but I never claimed the phone. I just never was known for that type of stuff. I always was the guy that was reading books. I was mad cool with everybody. I was the one that you could get a book from, Destruction of Black Civilization from, or that type of stuff. You know what I mean? I just was that guy. I wasn't the predicate cutter, but I was fighting police on Rikers Island. And that's another experience that I had too. I got jumped by police real bad on Rikers Island. And the police I got jumped by was a Spanish police dude who was also favoring Spanish speaking gangs. So those are my experiences on for Rikers Island. So when people ask the question of why I became a gang member, why I chose to be a part of that gang at that time, it was for me, my experiences and what people were showing me what was happening in the culture. So to Mikey B's point, it was a call to come together, because I'm not gonna lie, yo, it was crazy. And I ended up going to Green, and I went to Washington, and I saw the culture of what was happening at the time. And I went to Mount McGregor, and I saw, and I've been a part of scuffles and knife fights and all, and I've seen it get real crazy, where the Latin Kings and Yentas were swarming on black people. You know what I mean? And I didn't see too many black individuals who were willing to stand up as a group. I've seen individuals fighting back against it, but I didn't see collectively individuals doing it, but the homies. And I grew an affinity to that. Like, yo, I want to be associated with that, man. So when I got up with Graveyard in Mount McGregor, I got an opportunity to be with him and Will and Freedom and all of them. And at the time, Graveyard was 5'9" Brim. So this was my introduction into seeing people who would take a stand collectively against having conversations that this is what we're not going to tolerate. This is what we're going to do. And this is how we're going to also bring people in who we think are going to fight back as well. To your second point, so that cutting of people and all that type of stuff, that stuff was totally forbidden. I'm talking about to the point where it was so frowned upon that if individuals came on Rikers Island with cases like that, then they would treat it very, very, very disrespectfully, because
if I would have known that, it might have changed my mind. But go ahead.
No, bro, listen to me. There was no individuals who that. So what happened on the streets and what was going on inside of Rikers Island and what was going on up north was two totally different groups of individuals who were introduced to the lifestyle. The individuals on the streets that were doing that were like exiled. They were considered to be totally the ops, as the young individuals would say now. These individuals were like out. They were going to be mistreated and handled on a certain level because one, the goal for us when we were coming together and as we were taught was that it was to bring that, to reinstill that dignity back into us as Black people and to uplift ourselves. And the goal was never to oppress anybody who looked like you, who talked like you, who act like you. In fact, the goal wasn't even to oppress other Spanish-speaking people. The goal was also to educate them as well. But if these individuals sought to oppress you, then we was going to just crush them no matter what. That was the goal. But individuals who came from the streets, cutting women, stealing pocketbooks, raping chicks, nah, bro, that was totally, it was a red light on them. I mean, a green light on them on site. You know, individuals had to show their paperwork. First of all, individuals already knew from watching the news who was perhaps going to get locked up for a crime that they committed about them cutting a woman on the train. Or, bro, we had knowledge of that before a person even came to the island, and individuals was already on you before you even got there.
Yeah, they paperwork. We had the news clippers and everything waiting for them when they came.
Yeah, no, that was taken very serious, and it was unfortunately. I hate that a lot of people had to be victims of that culture of ignorance. But you know, I, on the inside, that's not how individuals were living. I could definitely attest to that.
Okay, that's because I went to jail. I went to jail over a blood boil out of town. Ran it out of town. That's where I got booked up because he was tripping. You feel what I'm saying? Like he was tripping, and it was like a lot of them. A lot of them was like that. Like they'll see you out, and they just try to start trouble with you because they don't know you. And I'll be like, damn, I thought y'all was supposed to be, uniting everybody. Why y'all trying to beef with people that ain't down with y'all? Y'all should be trying to recruit them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of individuals, for whatever reason, they just didn't get the same principles that we had got while we were in prison. Then you got to remember, at the time of individuals being immature and irresponsible, young individuals and wild, you got to remember we was teenagers going into our young formative years as young men. But at the same time as of us evolving and growing, we also, most of us were starting to read books that we never read before neither. So we was reading books on Black Power and Black Panther Party and the Civil Rights Movement and the Human Rights Movement. We was reading books about Patrice Lumumba and and Fidel Castro, and we was reading every books that we can read about how to organize your people. So we really had to understand about what revolutionary philosophy meant, how to dialectical materialism. Individuals was reading the Communist Manifesto. Dude was reading Blood in My Eye by George Jackson, A Wretched of the Eye by Franz Fanon, A Dying Colonialism. Dudes read every book you can imagine, right? All the books by Marcus Garvey, the UNIA, and so on and so forth. So individuals had this concept of how to live their lives as righteous individuals who were taking a stand against what they thought would be right. But you had different individuals, the same way you mentioned the different sects in Islam. You had different ideologies and different ways of thinking inside of the Damu movement. You had your revolutionaries who stood firm to the true belief of what Damu stood for, which was uplift their Black community, show Black love. When a Black person come on the gallery or come into your house, they trying to take care of them. They trying to uplift them. And then you had other individuals that was like, they were like gangsters, right? They were like straight gangsters. They was gonna be gangsters against
gangbangers. You got gangsters,
bang on anybody.
You got gangbangers. You got this color on. I got this color on. I'm on you.
They was just that type, right? And then you had those individuals. Yeah, you had the Mao. You had all type of. Then you had individuals that was on some get money type, fly guy type.
Money.
You know what I'm saying? And then that was their thing. They only cared about the money. It's like, nah, I don't care about that revolutionary stuff. I ain't that gangster. I just want to get to the back.
Money over here. We getting money over here.
You had different type of individuals that was bopping to that lifestyle. So a lot of times within the Damu movement, there was a clash amongst these individuals too.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So when it was time to go on certain type of time, some dudes would be like, not getting involved in that. So it became a big mess.
So which one of y'all is one of my cousins, big homie. Y'all know the boy. I don't what they call him. They call him KO. I think he from Laurel. He from Laurelton or Cambria Heights. His real name Rand Taylor. He did 10 years up there for a body that he didn't do, and then they gave him some money a couple years ago. Y'all know him?
Nah, don't know that name.
Y'all don't
KO?
know him? Yeah, his
Nah.
name. He a young boy, cause y'all older than me. He younger than me by like I think I got ran by like eight years. I think I got him by like 8 years. So he about 30.
How old are you?
I'm 45.
You got him by
I'm
8
40.
years?
Yeah, I got him by 8 years. Ran probably like 33, 34.
33? Oh man,
Yeah,
I don't know.
he came home like he came home about 5 or 6 years ago, but they just gave him 3 million.
That's the same time we came home.
Yeah, they gave him 3 million. It was all over the news and everything. They had his name Rand Teller. Look him up. But he was blood. He was up there. I forget which prison he was at though. That's my cousin's husband. You know what I mean? My little cousin Kimberly Gross from 119th or something.
I mean, just overall, I mean, from the perspective of like with Mikey and I, right, like right now at the point we're at in our lives, individuals are like so far removed from that way of living. It's ridiculous. Right. So you got to remember, we talking about when we was young teenagers coming into a lifestyle where Mikey was sentenced to all them years in prison. I'm sentenced to all them years. Me and my crimey. So it was just like
we got life sentences too. I had a life sentence.
We held on to that lifestyle because we believed in the true core of what it represented.
That's why I asked y'all. That's why I asked y'all about him, because he had a life sentence also. Because I figured that y'all was probably working with him or something.
And then it got corrupted. But but ultimately, I learned a lot from being a part of that lifestyle. I never speak down against it. I just always talk about things that I learned from it. I never tried to glorify it, but I also appreciate the time that I was a part of it, because I was able to develop a lot of discipline. I learned to take care of myself as a result of that. I was fortunate not to abuse any of my influence and my authority in that. And I learned a lot from individuals while I was a part of it. You know what I mean? So, and I'm thankful for the time that I spent with the people, even though it unfortunately had to be in a place like that. But the people who I was fortunate to develop strong bonds with, we try to do our best to uphold the values of it. And unfortunately, it just metastasized, it grew out of control, and it just became a cancer. When something, gets so big and it can no longer be contained, it just became like its own monster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we do the work that we do now, because a lot of it has impacted our communities in so many adverse ways that I don't think individuals imagine that it would get to the point where it is right now, where people are witnessing. It has become some sort of like a joke over here, right? When you see people still throwing up gang signs, and you like, y'all still living.
I was just going to ask you about that. So, like, how you feel about like them older dudes, like Jim Jones and all of them, like them type of dudes, still bringing people into that fold and stuff like that?
I mean, I don't have nothing personally against them. I mean, those are their choices. To me, at the ages that we're at, I saw the stuff that him and Man said, what he said about Jimmy, and
I was wild.
Back and forth with them, and so on and so forth. I understood where Dude was coming from, and I also understood where Jim was coming from. But just overall, I don't really personally have anything to say about the matter, because my thing is that, look, I think once you get older, we have like an obligation to kind of elevate ourselves and take our fight to another level. But who am I to say where he's at in terms of, or where anyone is at in terms of, how they see their fight and what they may be fighting against and stuff like that, what they may be fighting for. So I just feel like, I don't know why anyone would still want to be a part of it, but everybody has their own reasons for doing it. And, I would encourage individuals, listen, if you are a part of it, at some point there probably has to be an exit strategy. I can't see you at 80, 90 years old talking about black. You know what I mean? I'm just like, at what point does it end, right? But I don't really have no feelings about that. I don't put too much stock into that. Whatever people are doing with their own time is their own business. It's really none of my business because I'm at a point in my life, you know, I don't know. I just live my life a very simple way. I'm not really concerned about what other people are doing. You know what I mean? Mikey might have a different take.
You living a
Mikey might
good
have
life. That's why.
I don't have a I don't have a different take. I have a similar take. I was an old fool, just being honest, just an old fool. I'm a Leo, loyal to a fault.
Oh my God, my wife, yeah, y'all Leos is crazy as hell. Go ahead,
Leo,
man.
salute to wifey. No, my wife is a Taurus, right? My wife is
You
a
told the
Taurus,
bull.
right?
Oh yeah,
My
So
wife is a
y'all that y'all
Taurus.
fighting.
I'm a Leo. I mean, I'm loyal to a fault. I know I was loyal to people for longer than I should have been loyal. I mean, my name was Mikey B before I turned blood. I didn't like gain anything. That's not true. I did gain education. Um, I learned leadership skills. I learned a lot when I was blood. I learned a lot. I learned about loving my people, my history. I got all that from the homies. I'm just being honest, you heard? Not just the homies, you know, the old timers, the guards, the Muslims, you know, the good brothers, the neutral brothers. They're gonna give you information. They're gonna give you the stuff that you need when you're in prison, you a youngin, and then you official. They're gonna pull up on you. You know what I'm saying? So salute to all of them brothers, you know what I'm saying? So, but you know, during that time, like I said, I think it was a call to us. I think it was a call to us. That was Moshe.
Put yourself on mute.
Yeah, I got him. I just muted him. I got him.
Hello?
Now you gotta mute it. You gotta mute it real quick because your car is loud. I muted you. All right. But like you said, Moshe, I think, you know, it was a call to arms for us at the time. And we took it beyond. We didn't come back with a strategy after because we won. We won the war. After we won the war, you know, we had skirmishes with the police, other individuals, and then we just started wilding because leadership never came back and reformed the army and pulled everybody back. Really, it should have been disbanded. Really, once we won that shit, it should have just been disbanded. But, you know, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I said, I learned a lot. I learned my history. Without my history, my education, without those things, I wouldn't be who I am today. I write books. I'm a writer due to coming into contact of revolutionary writings from Assata Shakur, Assata by Assata Shakur. That's how I started writing books in general myself. Me going on that journey of education came from the Black Panther Party, which I learned about from Damu. Like these things, you can't take them away from me because I wouldn't be the same person that I am today. Once I came in contact with literature from the Black Panther Party, then I changed from more of a gangbanger to more of a revolutionary. You see what I'm saying? On the East Coast, we didn't really embrace gangbanging. We embrace the revolutionary values of the Damu movement in America, bro. That's what motivated the movement. That's what fed the movement on the East Coast, bro.
Yeah.
The revolutionary principles of blood.
Yeah.
That's what got us. That's what got us. That's what got the other brothers to tap in. Without those revolutionary principles, New York wouldn't have went for it. Once George Jackson, Assata Shakur, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale. Once you hear Elaine Brown, once those names got connected to it, and it was a righteous cause, then it was easy for us to jump in. A lot of our lives were nothing already. We didn't have no cause. We was doing shit to get a couple dollars. We didn't have what we all were born with. We born with that shit. A purpose for being here. A lot of dudes that had no purpose in their life, being a Damu soldier on the East Coast in New York gave their life purpose. A lot of dudes that had life, natural life in prison, no chance of coming home, being a Damu soldier gave their life purpose. Even with that time, even with those natural life sentences. I'm going to fight for the right of the people. I'm going to make sure the people is good. And like I said, it wasn't just for Bloods at that time. We was fighting for all black people. So if you came amongst us at that during that first generation, that second generation really, and you was black, then we was going to hold you down. It was, we was all one. When we came in, you knew in New York State and on Rikers Island, if we came into your house and we was black and we was blood, you knew we was a soldier for you. You came in line with us. We all got in line together if we was black, regardless. If you was from the Bronx, if you was from Harlem, if you was from Brooklyn, if you was from Queens, then we got in line with you. So we on a black car. It was really like a black car at that time in New York State.
And I think living. I think when you talk about living righteous too, man, like we had this conversations before on a lot of our shows in the past. When you start talking about being real and being right, a lot of individuals didn't understand that comes from being just to having a moral compass, and you taking a vow to stand on a righteous platform and live upright. Right. And that comes with a heavy responsibility of taking care of yourself first and foremost, and your people, those around you who historically have been oppressed and marginalized. And you were going to take a stand, even if it meant you putting your life on the line to do so. And as we begin to internalize a lot of those revolutionary books that you spoke about, it fed that revolutionary spirit. So now we can easily identify with a George Jackson, or we can easily identify with a Jonathan Jackson and a Sada Shakur and Elaine Brown, a Kathleen Cleaver, and so on and so forth. We knew we had a model to exemplify or embody as to how we would live our lives, and that comes with a set of principles and values that you have to uphold if you are real or you are right. What's the opposite of real? Fake. What's the opposite of right? Wrong. So you knew you did not want to be fake, or you did not want to live a wrong lifestyle, because by doing so, it could take you in any direction. But when you're living real and right, that upright way of conducting yourself is gonna compel you to walk that straight line, so that you become a light in the midst of darkness. When people see you, they can understand that this person stands on righteous principles. He's not a liar. He's not dishonest. He's going to honor his word. He's going to be somebody who's going to fight for our rights. How many times we've been in situations, in oppressive situations, and you came out as the person that people look to you as a leader in the space to help them resolve an oppressive or a challenging situation, whatever that could have been. It could have been a person who was illiterate. How you helping him learn how to read is him overcoming that psychological oppression that he might have been faced with. That's Damu. At the core of it, that's Damu. But it doesn't even have to be about Damu. It's about who we are as human beings. And I think what people failed to realize was that when you were standing up for those principles, you was standing up for humanity, that you was going to stand up, that you was not going to be oppressed. The spirit won't allow yourself to be oppressed. That's our nature. So that's what we were standing up for. We were standing up to overcome any forms of abuse. What happened was that those teachings didn't go to everybody, or if they did, people who couldn't read or didn't understand them, it flew right over their heads. Why? Because not everybody came in for the objective to be able to fight for the love of their people and to fight against oppression. Some individuals love taking advantage of oppressed people. Some individuals were oppressors themselves, and they wanted to continue to be oppressors because they did not want to break the psychological chains of oppression that they had on their own minds. They wanted to keep that on there so that they can continue to oppress not only themselves, but others, where we, on the other hand, or those like us, was like, nah, we're going to overcome our own way of oppression, fight back against any ignorance that we've inflicted upon ourselves, and we're gonna take this thing seriously. And that is what separated a lot of individuals. Why people, if you notice, Mike, some people continue to elevate even when they were in the lifestyle. You used to hear about people like, damn, bro, what's up, bro? Yo, he doing this, he doing that. You like, damn, he took it to another level. And the reason why is because people begin to elevate. How many times we heard the individuals, no matter what, they continue to stagnate. It's like they took the teachings and went a total different direction. And that's what we saw. Those two polarized, diametrically opposed ideologies going in two separate ways. And that's what's at war. Once you see that, it's always going to implode. It's always going to be a challenge. We just see at times the ignorance is, overtaking the intelligence. But for the most part, at its core, that movement was supposed to be a righteous movement that was designed to uplift the people, that if it went back to the community, you would see a community working towards evolving and shaping and molding itself towards upliftment, not towards destruction. So that's why this is a great conversation to say about F the streets. Yeah, even when we were a part of that lifestyle, we said F the streets because we knew that the lifestyle was destructive. Brotherly love override oppression and destruction. So the goal was to go back to the streets and not perpetuate destructive and oppressive lifestyles, but to devise a system, devise a set of rules that will govern the community, that would be led by leaders, honest, upright, moral, who will actually set forth a plan that can empower the people in the community, not where people feel like they can't come outside because the gangs is running amok and drugs is on the block. And that's not that. That's a whole different way of living. So if individuals don't understand that, you'll never understand it. Never.
That's a fact. That's a fact, bro.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? You got your answers?
We giving them a lot. We give them a lot, right?
I'm sitting up here listening. My joint was muted. I don't know why my headphone, the joint left my headphone, so I gotta put y'all on speakerphone. So my joint muted, but I'm definitely in here listening to everything. And this boy right here, man, I'm proud of that boy right there, man. He can talk very, very, very intellectually. Like, look at you, man.
Yeah, God is good, right? God is good, right?
All the time, man. Alhamdulillah, man. It's just good to see like real stand-up dudes getting back to getting these people right, because we the ones, like I said, we the ones that they look up to. They ain't gonna listen to nobody else. Killers only respect killers, man.
I think, let me tell you something, man. I think really when I be looking at my life and I'm looking at all our lives, because all of our lives is really like coinciding on the same wavelength. We might have did something here a little different, something there a little different. But Moshe, Melkor, G-Brim, Einstein, AZ, Rockwell, all these dudes out here, really our life is pretty similar. I'm happy to see brothers like making these changes and being these people that they are today, you heard? I ain't gonna lie. Dudes came a long way. I'm happy to see that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, you heard? Dudes came a really, really, really a long way. Put a lot of work in, good work. I'm not talking about no street stuff. On that, we talking about F the streets. We ain't putting no street work in. Yeah. Dudes put a lot of good work in out here in the field.
You heard me, Mike?
Say it again, bro.
I said you owe, bro.
You said I owe?
You owe. Yeah, you owe. That's why you out here doing that. You owe. You owe.
Yeah, don't get me
wrong. all the destruction and mayhem you caused back in them days, you owe for that, man.
Nah, you right. We all
you gotta
owe,
pay that tab.
we all owe a debt to society. We all, you
Nah,
right. You right.
Nah. Yep.
Right.
God's
That's
sake.
true. I don't disagree with you at all on that. And we've been putting in the work right now for a lot of years. So, like, you know, we got success. Like my brother Moshe, KK, myself, we got success. I was just thinking about these successes. But all this success that you see is just manifestations of our change, bro.
You know what they say, right?
All the success is manifestations of our change, bro. Go ahead, though, bro.
Because I was just going to add to what you said. Because Allah says when you take when you walk to Allah, He runs to you. So when you step towards Allah, He running to you. He wants you to be good. He wants you to be right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So everything when you take those initiatives to go ahead in that direction, man, He's going to make sure that you have everything in front of you that you need to do what you got to do. That's all I wanted to say.
I don't know why there ain't no link on this channel. I see a link up here. I don't know what's wrong with your. I don't know what's wrong with your YouTube. I got a link. I got a share link on my channel, Scott Swizzy. I don't know why you ain't got one. Somebody said it ain't the streets, it's the people in them.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know, like I said, I deal with a lot of Philly. You know, I'm Philly, and we, you know, they out there, they knocking stuff down every day, man.
I know.
Every day, man. Every day. So it's like enough is enough.
Right.
Enough is enough.
Right.
No mas. What the boy? No mas, man.
But Moshe, you good, man?
I think it's just me and you here, is it?
Nah. I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, bro. I mean, get your last words, and we've been up here 2 hours already.
Nah, yo. Listen, man. I know we was talking about mute Abdul Muqeet real quick. Now I know we started this conversation talking about, you know, after street. And I think this is a great conversation, Mikey, and I'm glad to have been back on WeLockedN because, you know, this is something that needs to be talked about. And I like I said before, like I said to you and Smitty and KK, that I don't think that, you know, we should be promoting the lifestyle of the street life anymore. I work with Mikey. You work with kids over the last couple of years since you've been home from prison, and you were working with youth even when you were on the inside, and likewise. And what we've seen since we've been home is that we've seen young individuals go back to prison. We've seen young individuals that we've worked with get killed while they've been out here,
right,
hugging the block, doing what they do while they're on the streets, doing that drill thing. They, you know, let's call it what it is. So I think when I hear after streets, I know what that means. And I'm not encouraging nobody to go to the streets. So when I'm having a conversation again with you in private, I'm gonna say, yo, bro, F them streets. Am I talking about the people in the streets? No. But if you taking it that way or whatever like that, I don't mean no offense to anybody in particular if you out there doing what you got to do. But I think this is a warning to you too. And if you're taking it that way, then you should take it personal. Not that I want you to, but I hope that you take it personal. Why? Because I don't want you to make the same foolish decisions that me and Mikey B made.
Right.
Right. So if you out there doing what you got to do, I get it. Get your money, do what you got to do. But that also know that comes with a cost too. And how much are you willing to give up for nothing? You know what I mean? Spending some time in somebody's prison and, you know what I mean? Like, it's like how much of that we got left to give. And I don't want to see anybody go down that path. So when I say F the streets, I really mean it. Like, yo, bro, I'm not going back. You know what I'm saying? With that mentality of sitting in that cell. Look how much time we gave these people, bro. Like, come on, we sat in prison cells for you and I close to 50 years together, bro. Like, so, like, I don't want to encourage anybody to make the same foolish decisions that I made because they might think that it's all right to be out there doing whatever it is that they're doing. It's none of my business. It's none of yours. But I don't want nobody getting sentenced to a life prison in bed. I mean, life sentence in prison. Nor do I want anybody life to be taken over something senselessly. So that's why I say that in the spirit and in the vein of that right there. So I mean, with that, I'll pass it to you, my brother.
Yo, man, I totally agree, man. This is a great show, man. The brothers came in. It was a great panel. I agree, man. When I hear F the streets, even from 21 Savage, I understood what he meant. He didn't mean the people. He meant certain values. I'm living on working family values right now. That's what I'm on. Mm-hmm. I'm on family values. I'm not on street values. I'm not on street timing. I'm not on none of that. You know what I mean? Am I actively working to send people in prison or being a CI? I'm not that neither. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So this is not like me copping out to say, all right, I'm sending everybody to prison. I'm just being honest. I'm not on no time. I don't know anybody. I couldn't say no, because let me tell you something. What I learned was 21 Savage is that you have to be, when you are saying these things, you have to be very intentional and very specific, because they'll spin your words.
Yeah, respectfully.
They'll spin your word. They'll take what you say and they'll spin it and make what they want. So you have to speak clearly. So I'm not promoting anything. And let me tell you something. For the guys that told or whatever, I'm not promoting against them. I don't even, in my work, I don't care about that. If you did that to somebody or if you did something, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, where's your resume? Do you need a job? What do you need help with? That's not a question that comes up when I deal with my clients. I'm just being honest. And it's not a question that comes up when I'm dealing with my life, because I don't got to worry about you if you told or not. I'm just being honest, because I'm not doing no crime. You can tell on Mikey B all you want. Bad Mikey said, I can tell on him. Tell on me. I don't. Go ahead. Tell. I'm not doing nothing. Would you tell on work? I'm just saying.
He's like, he filed the case file into the cabinet too fast. I saw too many overflowing files.
Tell that. I came in at 7:31 instead of 7:30. Tell that. You can tell that on me. You heard? He clocked in. He clocked in 2 minutes late. You can tell that on me. I definitely got there at 7:32. That's me. But just to be, I understand where 21 Savage was coming from. He's saying F the street values that destroyed his friendships, that destroyed his business, that destroyed his community, that destroyed his friends, that put his friends behind the wall. That's what I agree with. I got 7, 8 friends that didn't see 20 years old as an adolescent due to loving the streets. I got friends that been in prison since they were teenagers and they still in prison into their 40s and 50s due to the streets. I say F the streets due to that. I say F the streets to do all of my friends, all of my family members that I lost due to that lifestyle. The people, I love the people. I love all of my people. That's one thing those nightsticks in prison taught me, that these are your people. Love your people. Mm-hmm. One thing those books that the homies and the brothers and the guards and the elders gave me, it showed me to love my people. I learned how to love my people in prison. Doing that 25 years, that's one thing. Even though I got into a lot of fights, I got into a lot of stuff, I learned to love my peoples, and that's why I'm living a good life now. With that came humility. With that love came respect. Mm-hmm. With that love came loyalty. Mm-hmm. With that love came new values. With that love came new morals. I don't live the life that I used to live, so my life is easier now.
Yeah.
All of the things came with that, me loving my peoples.
Yeah, good point.
I treat people differently. I hold door. I wait and hold a door. These are little things, but in a broader perspective, they say God is in the details. These are small things, but when you are doing these things as a daily practice and daily, it changes your whole life. My life is easy. My life is easy. Everything I do is easy. I don't have no problems.
Mm-hmm.
All we knew was problems at one time in our life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, Moshe?
Mm-hmm.
All we knew was problems at one time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't got no problems.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if it is a problem,
mm-hmm.
I got the mental capacity to deal with it in a productive way.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that I learned. This is how far I came. So I just want y'all to understand that, like, and work and before I go, because I don't want this live to end without me saying this.
Mm.
Respect, humility, great work ethics, being responsible and accountable. If you got those 5 things with you, you're going to win. You're going to eat. You're going to live a good life.
Mm.
Those 5 things. Just remember those 5 things right there. Do those 5 things, and you're going to live a good life.
Mm.
Go ahead, bro. I'm good.
Yeah, you know, you bring up some good points, man. And what does it mean if we're not gonna use our influence today to try to steer people away from those streets?
Right.
You know, what's the purpose of going through what we've been through to watch others go down that same rabbit hole? But again, everybody, you know, one thing about me in the Quran, Allah says, "Lakum dinukum waliyadin," and to you be your way, and to me be mine. So the fact that you're taking your path and you're living your journey, you're living by a set of rules, by a set of ideologies and philosophies, etc., that beliefs, morals, whatever that govern your life, that's all right. You know what I mean? Because that's your life. And you're entitled to live your life as to how you want to live your life. I just think that what hurts a lot is working with a lot of younger individuals and seeing that they go down that same path that we've been down. So, you know, unfortunately, people are gonna have to walk their own journey. And the only thing that we could do, Mikey, is say, you know, you might not want to go down that path because that path could ultimately lead somewhere you might not want to be in. And who wants to be in a situation where unfortunately now you like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. So that's just my thing. I don't want to use the word like I don't care about what people do. It's not, I don't want to be insensitive like that because it's not really that type. I do care, but it's not something that I'm so much, it's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. But I would hope that people are going to make the best choices so that they don't hurt themselves or possibly somebody that you have an affinity towards, like a loved one, a cousin, a relative, you know, a sibling, an aunt, an uncle, or what have you. You know, individuals is doing all type of wild and crazy stuff in the hood. So, you know, you don't know how that may inadvertently impact somebody else. So, you know, listen, I'm not going back to that place. That place was a very traumatic experience for me,
Right.
emotionally, psychologically, physically, you know,
Fact.
spirit, you know, financially. You and I both know we lost a lot. We went through a lot while we were in there, and I don't know if people understand how challenging that is before you go in there. If you've been in there and you're still going back in there, you want to go back in there, by all means, that's your business. But I don't want to see anybody in a cage, being oppressed by anybody, and having to live their lives like that. That's one of the most inhumane unfortunate circumstances that I had to experience in my life, and I wouldn't want to see anybody have to go through that. So that's where it's coming from, and I know from you knowing you is coming from that same space. So that's why I'm saying F that lifestyle, because that lifestyle is for me, man. It's just it destroyed our families, man. It, you know, just think about it. I know we going off, man, but look at me, man. I was in prison, and I had to witness my mother get buried, you know, and I had to witness my father get buried. Like, you know what I'm saying? My sister, you know, she died. My brother died. It's like, you know what I mean? Yo, bro, like, when I tell you that my incarceration did so much to harm my family, bro, like I'm talking about it devastated my family, bro. Like, to be such an integral part of your family and you not know how critical of a piece to your family structure you are until you're gone, and then you realize how important your role is to that family, and you can't contribute to your own family. We talk about the community, and I don't mean F the community right now. I'm talking about your family, your
Right.
immediate family, your father, your mother, your siblings, bro. My absence from my family was catastrophic, bro.
Right.
My family took a major loss with my absence, Mikey, man. And so much so that we've been unable to recover.
Damn.
Have you seen a lot of
bro.
progress since I've been out? Of course you've seen progress. But my family has not been able to recover because I spent over 22 years in prison, bro.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, bro.
You dig what I'm saying? So that's where that's coming from. You know what I mean? I feel that every freaking day. So every post you see me putting up on Facebook and Instagram, and is only a reflection of me wanting to say, damn, bro, I'm trying to gain some ground, because I lost a lot, bro. I lost a lot.
Right.
Bro. And you know. And I know you
Right.
lost a lot. A lot of
Right.
people don't know that. They don't know. If you ain't been through the thick of it, you don't know that. You just think it's all glitz and glamour because you on TV. I'm not taking nobody else's losses away from them. I'm talking about what I went through. Me.
Right. Right.
So, you know, and that's why I leave with everybody, because it's real, bro. This thing get real spooky. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I hope people were able to gain something from this episode, man.
I think they will, man. This is a great conversation that 21 Savage started. I ain't gonna lie. Regardless of what his opinion is and all that, we need these conversations. We need productive conversations on social media. It's a lot of foolishness. You know, we see a lot of memes, a lot of funny stuff, but we need these. And let me tell you something. I asked y'all earlier about this. I think this is really a turning point for Black people in America as far as street values, these family values, and having everything really fully defined for a brighter future. So listen, 30 years we did this, bro. They try to do that. They try to get money. They try to do this. That shit ain't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we did before that and what we doing after that is we all worked, we all skilled, we all smart, we all made money, we stayed in school, and this is how we living. You know what I'm saying? That street shit is something they pressed upon us, and it was marketed and promoted to us like war. There was war against us. That shit was war against us, bro.
Yeah,
Until we put that out there and understand the way they manufactured that ratchet shit and that gangster shit and that music, that crack and all that drugs and all that in the music, bro, that shit was warfare against us, bro.
Yeah.
That shit was warfare against us, bro, and our peoples, bro.
Great point.
That shit, I'm telling you, bro, I used to be driving like my clients to other cities outside of the inner city. As soon as you leave outside of the inner city, you don't hear none of that drill shit. You don't hear no ratchet shit. You hear good music, love songs. Like, yo, they making love songs still. You won't hear that shit though if you live in New York or certain urban areas or urban communities. You will not hear that shit, bro. You go outside where that stuff can't no longer be. Listen, then you start hearing real stuff or things that can motivate you. But you got to remember, everybody looks at the media, bro. Everybody got Apple, everybody got YouTube, everybody got Facebook. The things that's promoted there is what everybody gonna see. Instagram, Snapchat. Look at them things. Look what's on there. If it ain't productive, then kids, people, the community is not getting it, bro. That's what everybody getting, bro. They getting YouTube, they getting Instagram, they getting Facebook, Snapchats, and Twitter. And TikTok, excuse me. If it's really not on those platforms, you're not reaching the youth. You're not really doing that right now. But yeah, it's crazy, man. This is a good one right here.
Yeah, this was a good one, man. Yo,
this is a good one, bro.
It's always a pleasure getting with you, my brother, man. You know, we gotta definitely, we gotta.
Yeah, we start popping out more often with good, with good topics and stuff like that. We be back up here, you heard?
John said, once you get out of the hood, it opens your eyes to a bigger picture. I bet go to different.
Yeah, it opens you up to a different mindset, man. We got to, coming from where we come from, we got a crab in the barrel mindset.
Right.
Once you get away from those environments, man, you start thinking because you see better. I ain't start turning into a better person, man, for real, till I got out of New York. To be honest with you, seriously, I got out of New York. I went to the Poconos for a little while. I opened up my eyes, and then I got dropped in Philly, and then my eyes got closed again. You understand what I'm saying? So
Philly is wild.
Philly, our brothers and sisters in Philly, they a little bit different, man.
How you doing? I'm all right. Yes, ma'am.
I love you, man. I gotta go.
Love you too, bro. Yo, this is a good one, bro.
Y'all be good, man. Hey, yo, I gotta come. He gotta take me to come meet you, brother. I'll be out there to come meet you real soon.
Yeah, we sure, man. We make up, man.
All right,
that's what it is. We all right here, y'all. We pull it together, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Peace, bro.
Alaikum. How you doing? Good, how are you? I'm all right. 353. Sorry about that. 6875.
And who do you drive?